that suggests that if you are in an enterprise data center in the US Department of Defense, you must be certified in security. Now, we're not the only certification, and nor would we ever argue for that, but we are 3 of the 10. And we're going to be looking for the same thing outside of the Department of Defense, and increasingly outside of the United States federal government as well. That we think there is a growing body of data and observation coming out of this about the consistency, about the longevity, about the tenure of IT professionals in the DoD as they get this level of certification. So we're going to be pushing very hard on that. We consider that level, the connection with all of our labor, Department of Labor initiatives being based on some of the standards that we're trying to drive, is the way we can establish that traction that turns into business really globally for the people in this room. From a marketing perspective, you've seen a lot of it. We spent a lot of money on marketing in this last couple of years, trying to rebrand ourselves, bring ourselves into the professional level that you all expect from us. And we're going to continue to make those investments. We've got a very dynamic relationship with marketing group. Our marketing group is out in San Francisco. They make use of some fantastic agency support. We don't create this all ourselves. We engage with the technical people, the technology industry, where a lot of it is. And that is out there in California, it's in Asia, we've got folks in Japan, we've got a fantastic PR group here in the UK that works with us, and we're going to continue to leverage those investments. So, last thing I'll tell you is that these are the value props, and this I'm not going to go through this, but look at this when you get a copy of this presentation. Got a lot of data on it. This is how we're continuing to enhance our value proposition. You're going to see the website change. You're going to see us continually pounding the career, the get a job, the keep a job, get paid better on the job message, and that's what I think is going to make the needle move on unemployment, the needle move on the professionalism that somebody looks at IT as a career. So take a look at it, understand what it is that we've done, and with that, I probably have time for 30 seconds for the questions. John, just a couple of minutes. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Terry, I didn't see any mention of software development in this strategy.
No, you didn't.
Can you comment on why?
And there's always somebody who wants to talk to me about software. And you know, indeed, Steve, there is going to be a need for us to actually take security into the software layer, that really down from the technical infrastructure layer, the firewall layer, there's an app layer that needs security. And so we're going to get into software whether I want to get there or not. The issue is that software becomes so vendor specific. And that's a place where we have tried to stay out. We've tried to stay very vendor neutral. Where we can get to some standards, I'm quite interested in software. We've started with really open sourcing from an operating system with Linux, getting heavier into Linux. You'll probably see us into Java, into Open Solaris, into some of these others that are starting to get up into that software layer. I don't know if I'm going to be talking about application development environments. I think that is really where we want the vendors to own that space. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you seem to position CompTIA certifications that exist at the moment in relation to vendor bonds, yes, by saying that they would somehow relieve the vendor certifications of having to do standard stuff like IP and so on.
Right.
To what extent are the vendors cooperating in that? In other words, can we expect to see that, you know, a CCNA exam without any TCP/IP fairly soon? But
you may, and interestingly, Cisco is really, I think, one of our good partners in recognizing where they could use Strata and where they can use A+. And so I think you'll start to see that. Obviously, it takes kind of multiple generations of their certifications. I think we have had to step up and to be able to provide the kind of volume and the kind of delivery components and the kind of professional channel programs that we have now to really convince Microsoft and Cisco and Oracle and others that, hey, we can cover this bottom half here. And we have, you know, we're all on the same boards together, so that conversation has been engaged, and I think they do understand it. Quite often they come out with something competitive at the same level, but it's really focused at their technology and only at their technology. So we're going to continue. We already have a number of agreements where Cisco recognize A+ and CTT+ and Network+. In fact, we're selling bundles with Cisco now of our products. So watch for that to continue to evolve with all of the partners. I mean, because we really do believe that we are not competitive with them, but should be supporting them. Yes, sir.
Sorry. With all the new programs that are coming through, what about the content development? Is that still in collaboration with the industry? Will you be consulting?
The content for the exams?
Yeah, for the new programs.
So, yeah, so this is interesting and probably something I glossed over. One of the reasons we have changed a little bit of the economic model of CompTIA and engaged the CAP process, where we're asking for royalties for the use of our marks of A+, Net+, Security+, of CompTIA in general, where we're getting some level of royalty from the delivery folks. We're trying to give back. We're trying to put as much value back into that as we're pulling out. But part of the reason for doing that is that we have stopped doing the cornerstone process in total the way it was before. It was a great process from the perspective of engaging the industry. And in many cases, we actually got the industry to pre-commit to using a number of these certifications right out of the chute, and that was a great way to take them up. A lot of them didn't happen that way. And the other thing we saw was that waiting to get 10 companies to all go find $25,000 to help you fund the development of one of these things took the lead time out by 6 or 8 or 9 more months. And right now in this space, with the changes in cloud, with the changes in government regulations, I don't think we can wait that long. So Todd and the board really have all agreed that we can keep what was the best out of the cornerstone process, which is industry engagement. And so the investment from the industry we ask for is your people, is subject matter expertise. We're going to have a series of advisory councils that are sort of a layer above the SMEs that build the exams. But we are going to fund all that as CompTIA. And so that's a very different space than we were in before. It speeds the development of the certificate or the certification. To me, it's, you guys have all helped build a fairly large association here with fairly strong financials behind it, and we don't have to really go hat in hand or tin cupping 10 technology companies to do a cloud certification. We can go pull those people together and say, buy yourself a plane ticket, and let's all get in one place and help us from a knowledge perspective, but we'll pay the bill. Probably one more, no.
What value does a CAP Academy receive?
Same things that the E2C groups used to receive. They get a fairly significant discount on vouchers. They get access to content. They get a whole lot of support from the career services and those kinds of things. So it's going to be very similar to what E2C has been for the last several years. What you're going to see is us start marketing it at a much, much higher volume. We've actually engaged one of our channel announcements over the last year was Certiport, where they are a testing body, but they're also a sales and marketing channel for us with great hooks into the academic community. So we're exercising some new channels to actually get deeper and broader with E2C. With that, I think we are 11 minutes over time now, and somebody's going to give me the hook. So I thank you very much for your time and sitting in this very warm room and dealing with the light in the back. I appreciate it. Any other questions, I'm happy to take them afterwards, but thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of the conference.